Okay, so we've got quite a controversial topic here, and that is whether grammar even matters anymore. There seems to be two camps when it comes to grammar. One that believes flawless grammar is the end goal of human existence. These are the people who interrupt your sentences just to fix them up, or you can better describe them as pretentious. And one that thinks grammar went out of fashion 100 years ago. Neither side is entirely wrong. Although correct grammar is important for clarity and often determines your reputation on a page, language is an evolving thing, not a static rulebook. Things people said in Shakespeare's day would hardly be said now. Even the spelling and meaning of words changes over time. Like, for example, literally doesn't mean literal anymore. Now the internet, text messages and emojis are changing the English language faster than ever. But this divide focuses on the smaller picture topic of grammar, without addressing the big picture idea, which is meaning. Grammar is a tool that, when used correctly, creates clarity and delivers meaning. But that's all it is, a tool. Whether grammar matters is the wrong question. The right question is whether meaning matters, whether clarity matters, and that answer will never change. What even is grammar? Many people think they don't have a solid grasp on grammar, but grammar is about the way a language is constructed to create meaning. Since you speak and probably write every day, you're already following 99% of grammatical guidelines without realizing it. You say, I went to the store instead of store went I too, because you know the subjects usually come before verbs and so on. When people say they struggle with grammar, they're talking about the 1%, the split infinitives, the misplaced modifiers, the prepositions at the ends of sentences. More often than not, these 1% aren't clear-cut rules, but rather hotly debated opinions or antiquated, theoretical guidelines that don't align with the way English is currently spoken. Are there really grammar rules? Most grammar rules aren't laws as such, they're just widely accepted conventions. The fact that most people accept and use these conventions is what makes English or any language work. It's like currency. We've all agreed that a $10 note is worth so much and we exchange it for other things based on this assumption. Although there are hundreds of grammar books out there, it's not illegal to break grammatical constraints. There is no one official source of grammatical matters. In fact, there are many, and they often disagree with each other. The truth is that language belongs to the writer or the speaker. Language is malleable and language is a tool, so use it and bend it as you need to achieve your purpose. So should I follow the rules? Some grammar rules, particularly the 1%, are so rigid that they're impractical to follow in every situation. They reflect a kind of theoretical ideal, but not a practical reality. The English language is a living thing, used in hundreds of formats for thousands of. What matters about grammar is not necessarily adhering to rules, but making your writing clear. Sometimes grammar helps with this. Grammarians like to give two variations on the same wording, such as let's eat grammar and let's eat grammar. At times, like these, grammar is the difference between breaking bread and breaking bones. At other times, it's not so critical to meaning, but you should follow the rules you've learned unless you wish to intentionally break them or for a specific reason. There are two main reasons to break grammar rules, and we'll look at them below. In most contexts and most of the time, it's best to follow correct grammar and spelling and punctuation conventions. Even if it's simply because a person reading it may form a judgment about your work, your personality, and your grasp of English based on your writing. It's important to consider the context of what you're writing and the people who will read it. If it's a poem for a literary journal, throw the grammar book out the window. If it's a cover letter for communications positions, put those commas where they belong. Breaking grammar for clarity, brevity, and modernity. However, sometimes old-fashioned grammar rules can actually get in the way of comprehension, or at least make a sentence sound absurd or long-winded. Like Winston Churchill's sardonic exclamation, "This is a type of errant pedantry up with which I will not put." This is where common sense and your own knowledge of current usage, which you already have, don't worry, is most important than an antiquated rule in a theory book. If breaking a grammar rule makes your meaning clearer, your sentence briefer, or your language more current, don't be afraid to make the break. The final verdict. The primary function of grammar has always been and always will be comprehension. getting the same meaning out of one person's head and into another. Most grammar guidelines have been constructed and are adhered to in such a way that they do help transmit your meaning clearly. Such as I went to the shops, remember? But sometimes adhering strictly to old notions of grammar can get in the way of comprehension, make your writing too long-winded or ridiculous, or restrict creative expression and poetic effect. That's when a mix of common sense and your own gut should prevail. It's your name on your writing and nothing, not even a 500-page grammar textbook, can ever replace your own heartfelt and hard-earned judgment. Language, including the grammar rules we've constructed within it, is yours to play with. Use it well. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. If you guys enjoyed this, feel free to subscribe and cheers.